All right, here we go, y'all. This is Module 2, and this is the beginning where we talk about attraction. So here it is. This is Module 2, Attraction to Her, Conditions for Success, setting you up for conditions for success. So I'm going to dive right in. So this is video number 1. This is the worst advice ever given to men and women. This is my opinion. All right, this is the worst relationship advice around. Just be yourself. The best definition that explanation that I've heard of this is from Peter. He says, this advice is useless because it is uselessly tautological, deceptively glib, with a massively faulty baked-in assumption. It assumes that the only reason any man is unsuccessful with women is because he is not honest. The truth is that there are legions of honest but socially awkward guys with bad fashion sense, correctable verbal tics, crummy haircuts, and fixable hygiene issues who are told this useless advice. Berating them for a defect they don't possess is confusing and makes the insecure among them feel worse about themselves, amplifying their lack of confidence, which is the actual reason for their lack of success with women. And it feeds on itself over and over. This is Peter Chang. He is a TED Talk speaker and author. I'm sure that you've been given your fair share of advice like all of us have, but I want you to know that just being yourself is not the issue. As you'll see in this module, being yourself, or more importantly, continuing your path with women using the same behavior without making a few small adjustments is self-defeating. If you want to see different results, you have to do things differently. You can do what you've always done, hoping for different outcomes, and we all know that this is the definition of insanity. So, we are going to set you up for conditions that breed success. Let's go back to the questions we as men are asking. How do I know if she's the one? Why does she always talk about the relationships? Things are fine now, so why rock the boat and get married? Why do women ask so many questions? How do I know what a woman wants? Why are women so indirect about things? Why do we start arguing about the littlest of things? Why can't a woman just say what she means? And we've talked about before, all of these questions revolve around one particular question. How do I guarantee that I will be successful? Women, on the other hand, are asking another set of questions, and it's important to know the one primary question behind the questions that she is asking. The questions that women are asking is, how do I attract the right guy for me? Why do men talk so much about themselves? Why don't men call back? Why don't men commit? How do you get a man to open up? Why do I have to do everything to make this relationship work? Everything is great, but my partner doesn't want to get married and I do. What can I do about that? Why do I keep getting involved with the same kind of guy? And the one primary question behind all of her questions are, how do I secure, keyword secure, a loving, lasting relationship? And in a few moments, we'll talk about the one primary desire behind that question that most women are looking for. But first, I'd like to talk about one unlikely hero, Zach. Now, Zach was sitting front and center among 5 other men. Everyone else in the group had something to contribute, but when Zach spoke, everyone listened. All the other comments were held tentative until Zach gave his approval. He was nimble, able to think quickly, put together plans, and make decisive actions. He held the group with command, and anyone coming into the group would have no doubt that Zach was the guy in charge. Zach and Debbie had only been out a few times. They'd just been on a few dates. They were nice dates, but to be honest, she really wasn't interested and had just about put him in the friend zone. Then Debbie had the opportunity to see Zach at the table. She listened to him instruct and give out orders with confidence, imagination, and style, and she found herself eyes wide open, deeply attracted. And it was at this table that Debbie looked at Zach during this game of Settlers of Catan and said to herself that this is the guy that I'm going to marry, which she did. So the question that I have for you right now is, what did Zach have at the Settlers of Catan table that he didn't have on the previous 2 dates? You can even pause the video right now if you want and answer, and then press play to jump back in. The one thing that Zach had at the Settlers of Catan table that he didn't have on the previous 2 dates was differentiation. You got it. And remember what flows from differentiation. Differentiation, curiosity, and curiosity leads to opportunity. And as we learned from Debbie, at this point, Zach was in the driver's seat, and all he needed to do was not screw it up. The 3 qualities, and this is what we didn't talk about before, but the 3 qualities that drew Debbie in that moment around that table were confidence, intelligence, and high social status. In reality, Zach worked in the library awaiting to get enrolled in a graduate program, but in Debbie's mind, Zach was compelling, confident, intelligent, and the high social status hero in her mind. Now, you might not have all the skills of a heroic warrior, but you may have some skills in the things you're interested in. And if you exercise these skills with confidence, intelligence, and social respect, she will find you attractive. And it's all about positioning. What we're trying to do at the moment is position you with the conditions for success. But you need to hold on for 1 second, because walking up to her right now and exercising your confidence without your vintage 1950s record collection you have in your garage isn't the best strategy. There are 4 movements you need to learn. You have to get her to talk to you. Before that, you have to get her interested in you. Before you get her interested, you have to get her to notice you. Before you get her to notice you, you have to get her to notice you even exist. And this is a process that we will be unfolding in the next throughout this module, but also in the next module as well. Remember our friend Peter's explanation why just being yourself is the worst advice ever. The truth is that there are legions. There's tons of guys out there that are just awkward, that don't have any fashion sense, that maybe their verbal tics are just crummy. They got their haircuts need help. They got fixable hygiene issues, and they're told this useless advice. Berating them for a defect they don't possess is confusing and makes the insecure among them feel worse about themselves, amplifying their lack of confidence. And this feeds on itself, right? Confidence is key. We want to set you up for success. In other words, many of you are just by taking this course right now are setting yourself up for differentiation. So let's review our attraction to success form. The one primary question behind all the other questions of a woman: how do I secure a loving, lasting relationship? An examination of Zach. Zach displayed a set of qualities that Debbie was attracted to: confidence, intelligence, and high social status. And 3 of the 4 movements that you need to learn, everything from getting her to know you exist to getting her to talk to you. In the beginning of this course, I shared with you that that there are 4 types of men: the nice guys, the bad guys, the good guys, and the better men. You and I know that we wouldn't want our daughters to be with the bad guys who manipulate, but I want to share with you why the nice guys are just as unappealing. Let's look again at a woman's primary question: how do I secure a loving, lasting relationship? And the primary desire behind that question is safety, emotional safety. And when you understand that nice guys aren't safe, it will help you explain why the nice guy is so unattractive to women. When a strong, confident, assertive man comes together with a beautiful woman, the most common response you hear from women is, "This feels so natural." It's like we were just meant to be together. When a woman perceives you as a nice guy and friend zones you, what she's saying is, "I don't trust you to be a safe, confident man for me. Someone with whom I can find rest and freedom." To women, men who are insecure don't feel safe. It puts too much pressure on them to make you feel good about yourself. And no one wants that job, not even other men. A woman doesn't want that job to make you feel good about yourself. We'll be addressing these issues later, but I want to show you a form we're building for the conditions for massive success. And this is the attraction to success: confidence, intelligence, high social status, which leads into differentiation. And we all know that differentiation leads to curiosity, right? We're going to be building this in later lessons and modules. But up next, I want to talk about establishing the nonverbal cues. And this is the beginning of the 4 movements, right? You need to learn nonverbal cues, and that's what we're going to be talking about in the next lesson. Y'all are rock stars. Thank you for joining me again. I'm excited for you because I think things are going to change for you. All right, see you soon.